now we are going to discuss the remaining portion of this Clostridium species, and we have discussed earlier. One was Clostridium perfringens. Second, we have discussed Clostridium botulinum, and third one was Clostridium tetani, and fourth now we are going to discuss, that is Clostridium difficile. Okay, I will again repeat it. Number one, Clostridium perfringens. Second, Clostridium botulinum, and third one was Botulinum tetani, and this we are going to discuss this. And this Clostridium difficile was first isolated in 1935 from the feces of newborn infants, and it was so named because of the unusual difficulty in isolating, because the scientists face very difficult situations in isolating this difficile Clostridium, so that name was difficile. And this organism was infrequently isolated in fecal cultures and rarely associated with human diseases. So this is all about the general idea of Clostridium difficile. Now we are going to discuss about the morphology of this Clostridium difficile. And this Clostridium difficile is a long, slender, motile, gram-positive, and they are appearing in rod shape, and all the Clostridium species we see in rod shape, and this is also in rod shape with oval and terminal spores. It is non-hemolytic, saccharolytic, and weakly proteolytic. These are the characteristics of this Clostridium difficile morphology. Now we are going to discuss about the toxins, and it produces two toxins, toxin A and toxin B, and it is named as anteriotoxin, and it is also known as cytotoxin. This anteriotoxin is primarily responsible for diarrhea, and this cytotoxin capable of producing cytopathic effects in several tissue culture cell lines. So these are the two toxins which are produced by this Clostridium difficile. Now we will talk about the pathogenesis. Which is produced by this Clostridium difficile, and it is probable cause of antibiotic associated disease. Antibiotic associated disease, and second one is PMC, that is also known as pseudomembranous colitis. Pseudomembranous colitis and antibiotic associated disease, these are the two diseases which are life-threatening conditions, and these diseases develop in people taking antibiotics because the agent alters the normal enteric flora, either permitting the overgrowth of these relative resistant organisms or making the patient more susceptible to the exogenous existence of Clostridium difficile. And this disease occurs if the organism proliferate in the colon and produce their toxins there. This is the pathogenesis of this Clostridium difficile. Okay, I hope you will understand all these things. Antibiotic associated disease, you have to keep in mind two words. One is antibiotic associated diarrhea, and second is pseudo membranous pancreatitis. These are the two conditions which are produced by this toxins. And now we will discuss about the laboratory diagnosis. Laboratory diagnosis. For this we have to isolate the bacilli, and this can be done, or this can be isolated from the feces of a person, and there are some selective procedures by which we can isolate this bacilli. And for demonstration of toxins, and the toxin B, this toxin B can be demonstrated in the feces of patient by its characteristics effect on human diploid cell cultures and the both toxins may be demonstrated by the immunological methods. For example, ELISA linked immunoabsorbent assays, that is also known as in short ELISA. So this is all about this Clostridium difficile. So I hope you will understand and enjoy this video. Okay, thank you.